All right, what's our I can statement today? Perfect. Today's super easy. It's our last section of chapter 10. It says I can write and graph equations of circles. Here's the equation. That's a long equation, but it's quite easy as we're going to look at it. Here's the equation. And the variables in the equation are h and k, which stand for our radius, or excuse me, our center, and r that stands for our radius. Okay? So, if we take a look at this first question, it says graph the circle. It gives us the equation. So we just need to pick out what we call the center and the radius. So as we look at this equation, I have a 2 and a 1 for the h and the k. And then I have a 16 in for the r squared. And so my center ends up being 2, 1. And my radius is the square root of 16, which is 4. So we just have to remember how to graph. How do I graph the point 2, 1? Amazing. So there is my center. And now it tells me the radius is 4. So in all directions of this circle is 4. So I can go up 4 and make a point. I can go right 4 and make a point. That goes off the grid a little bit. I can go down 4 and make a point. And then I can go left 4 and make a point. There are 4 red points I made for this circle, so then I can do the best I can to draw myself a circle based on those 4 red points. Oops. So there is the circle. That's how easy it is today. So our second question, again, we just need to pick out a center and a radius. As we look this time, our center is going to be -1, -2. Does everybody notice that? The numbers are opposite when we take them out of the parentheses. And then what's our radius this time? Not 4, it's the square root of 4, which is 2. So how do I plot the center? Good? And then how do I plot my radius? Well, I go in all directions of 2, right? One ahead.
How'd you get -1 and -2?
Because when you take them out of parentheses, they become the opposite values.
She wants to know how much money. Katie wants to know how much money she owes him.
$1 million. And then we draw the best circle we can. Which is the best I can do. Aldo, did you get this one down?
Yeah.
Sure you did. Okay. Next one. Uh-oh, if there's not a number by the x, what number do you guys think it is? 0. And then if there's a -3 by the y, what does the number become? Good. And then what is my radius? What is the square root of 1?
1.
Just 1. So how do I plot the center again? How do I go 0, 3?
0.
You start at the middle and go 3. It's just like how you regular.
Good. And then how do I plot a radius of 1? You go over 1 in all directions, right, guys?
green team, teaching team right here.
Laura. The smaller the radius, it feels like the harder the circle is to draw.
How? Wait. So what are we supposed to do?
Oh, we're gonna do them together. I promise.
It's not possible.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So this one we have to write the equation. So the circle is already drawn for us. So the center is 0s, I'm hearing. And then what's the radius? Okay. So here's the middle. That's where the 0, 0 comes from. That's the exact middle of the circle. And then we count out 1, 2, 3, 4 to get the radius. And so now we have to write our equation. And so it's going to go x minus 0 squared. Yeah, we actually have to write it out.
Will you mark this down if you don't do it?
Kinda, because that's what the question asks you to do. And then we just don't write 4, we write 4 squared. So what's 4 squared? 4 times 4, 16. Okay. It's Monday, right? Okay, let's take a look at this next one. Center radius. So does everybody see that little dot on your paper that shows you where the center is? I'll darken it in. So where is the center of this thing?
-4, -2.
Amazing.
No, I don't believe you.
And then we have to figure out the radius.
4. No, I didn't. Yes.
So now it goes x. It usually goes x minus 4, but since it's already a minus, we're going to go x plus 4. And then it usually goes y minus, but since it's already a minus 2, we're going to go y plus 2. And then what is after the equal sign? 16. All right, you guys try this last one. Try to find out the centers, try to find out the radius. And then if you have problems with the equation, that's okay, but Mr. Robertson and I will make sure we can find the center and the radius. What did we get for the center?
0.7.
What do we get for the radius? Okay. And what did we write for our equation?
X plus 7.
0 is going to come first.
Okay, 0. And squared. And then plus y. Oh, this makes plus. Wait, no. 7 equals 1.
Good.
You just said you didn't know how to do
Over. On the back side, it says write an equation of the circle with a center 3, -10. So let's go ahead and practice plugging these numbers into our formula. So the important thing is to remember our signs, okay? So when we plug this in, we should put what, guys? X minus or plus 3? Minus 3 squared plus y plus or minus 10? Plus 10 equals, now what are we going to put instead of 12?
6. No.
We're working kind of 12 to the second power, yup. So what's 12 times 12? 144. All right, the next one we need to make a little change to the problem. We're going to scribble out this as point on circle 0, 0. Let's scribble this out and let's write radius of, let's do radius of 2 instead, okay? So take a second and try to do exactly what we just did on the one below, okay? Try to fill in those numbers. I'll get it like a outline for you. You can put the numbers in.
Looks just like the problem above it with different numbers now. Now you're just mirroring the problem below.
Oops, forgot my little 2 up there. Okay, so we should have put a -8 here and a +6 here. That was the first step. Put those 2 numbers in. And then we need to square the 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. Good job. Any questions over that one?
Paige, did you say 8?
All right, let's look at the one below. I think it's a matching one. It says we have to match each graph to equation. We can match them, or we can just write each equation next to them. That might be easier to see. So let's just figure out what each equation is, and then we can match them, okay? So this one over here on the upper right, what is my center? It looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 0, right? So we have a center of 3, 0, and it looks like we have a radius of 2. Okay, so I'll just leave that over to the side. Over on the right side, it looks like we have a center of 0, 0, and our radius looks like it's going to be 2 again. And our last one over here looks like our center is 1, 2, 3, -3, 0, and our radius is 2. Now we have all the information we need. We just got to find which one of these numbers are plugged in correctly down below. And we can just draw lines to the matching ones. Now, do you notice how some of these down here, I'll point to them for those on the video, whoops, they have just like x squared. They don't have a number in there. That means there's a 0 there, okay? You can put a 0 there. So let's look at the first one. This would be x minus 3 plus y equals what's 2 times 2? 4, right? So that means that which one says x minus 3 plus y squared equals 4? It would be this one right here. Okay? So that one matches with that one. Let's look to the right. What one has 0, 0 in it? Which of the formulas has 0, 0? Well, these ones represent 0, 0s, okay, when there's just letters. So this one matches with this one. And then our last one, we're looking for a positive 3 and a 0, right? Because we want to change that positive. So that would be the last one, yep. So those would match those 3 circles. Any questions on those? Just matching. All right, up at the top here it says, what is the length of the diameter of this circle? So this one's not too bad. Let's figure out what our radius is first. What is our radius going to be? What is square root of 64? What is the square root of 64? 8. So if we know that the radius is 8, what is our diameter then? How do we figure out diameter when we know radius? 2 times 8, right? What's 8 times 2? 16. That's it. Okay, our last one, it says, where would each of these points be located? Inside, on, or outside the circle? So we're going to draw a circle, and then we're going to look at the 3 points and just say where they're going to be on the graph. So let's draw our circle first. Our center looks like it's going to be -3, +4. And our radius is square root of 25 is 5. So let's do our best to go left, 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our center. Now we got to count. We're going to kind of go off the graph a little bit because we got to go 5 in all directions. So we're just going to do our best to go 5 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a point. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Be like up here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be kind of over in this other problem here. And we're just going to do our best to make a circle around there, okay? It's going to look a little weird. And we're just going to estimate and hopefully figure out where each one of these points are going to lie. So in red, I'm going to do our answers here. So 0, 0, guys. Just looking at how I drew it, would it be on, inside, or outside the circle? 0, 0 is right here. It looks like it's on, right? I'm hoping it's supposed to be on. On. 2, 0 would be, let's see, 2, 0 would be 1, 2 right here. Would that be outside, inside, or on? Outside. So we're going to put out. And our last one is -2, so left 1, 2, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. That would be inside. Not too bad. Do you guys have any questions about how to draw these circles or the equations of the circles?
No, that's pretty easy.
Good. All right.